Hello and welcome to Life.EV. This is episode number 20, a podcast that dives into exploring values. I'm your host, Ajit Panicker, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech startup in the air conditioning domain. Every Saturday at 11 a.m., we join you for conversations that go beyond business growth, primarily focusing on values that fuel it. So let's embark on this journey to uncover a true purpose and how we can grow by enriching our lives. Welcome to Life.EV, where we explore values in life and business. And we have with us Vivek Asrani. Hi, Vivek. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks, Ajit. How are you?
Absolutely good. For our viewers, Vivek Asrani is the driving force behind Camo Fastener Company, a trailblazing company in the industrial fastener sector. What sets Vivek apart is his deep engagement with the exploration of values. Now, for close to 4 years, he has dedicatedly penned his reflections on this topic every week. These insightful thoughts are accessible on his website, vivekasrani.com. Additionally, Vivek has authored the book One Day at a Time Reflections from Times of Silence, which further delves into his journey and insights. This thought provoking read is available on Amazon, offering readers a chance to engage with his profound understanding of values and their role in both personal and professional lives. Well, in today's episode number 20 of Live.EV, we are delving into another compelling topic, and that is the precious things in our life. Vivek, over to you. Let's hear your reflection on this.
Thanks, Ajit. Anything that is precious is something that we take good care of, that we value a lot, and typically we, keep it in a very safe place because we always think of our money, wealth, valuables, jewelry, possessions as things that are precious. I think it, you know, helps to take a step back and really look at what are some of the other precious things in our life which we sometimes just, take for granted. And I want to start off, Ajit, by reading a paragraph from my reflection, one of the opening paragraphs, which kind of just sets the context and the tone for today's discussion. That
Sure.
anything that enhances the quality of life is precious. That which puts a smile on our face in our darkest hour is precious. That which allows us to create beyond our imagination is precious, and that which we carry in our heart is precious. So I've really thought about this and looked at it slightly differently and spoken about five aspects of our life beyond the obvious of the material possessions that we have, which obviously are precious. It's not that they're not, but five other aspects of our life, which if we start recognizing as precious, maybe we might start valuing it a little more, and maybe we might uh, make certain decisions a little differently going forward. I think the first and quite obvious to a lot of people is our health. Health is precious. Now we say it, but I think it's important to understand also that health is precious not only because it's good to be healthy, but good health actually allows us to experience and engage with life and to take advantage of everything that life has to offer us. Often we might find ourselves in a situation where we have the means but not the ability to enjoy life. We may have the means, but not the ability to enjoy life. And our ability gets compromised if we haven't taken care of our health. So I think health is, one of the most precious things in our life. The second, which I've always spoken about, is time. Time is the one thing, Ajit, which is the only irreversible in life. Money you lose, you can make again. You lose a relationship, you have a strained relationship, you can mend relationships. Things that break you can fix, but time once lost cannot be brought back, which is why time becomes that much more precious. And we see it, right, when we find a coin which is like 500 years old. Suddenly the world pays some crazy value for it. Why? Because you're not going to get that again. It's just like one of those things available. And time is precious, Ajit, also because the only thing that we really have is the here and now. In as much as we keep writing and calculating all our bank balances and net worth statements and everything else that we carry, but what we really have is the here and now. So time is very precious. The third is experiences. For me personally, the quality, the diversity, and the type of experiences that I give myself enriches the quality of my life. And experiences are precious from two aspects. One, they kind of allow me to grow, they allow me to live a dimension of life which the world is offering me. And experiences give me a memory which becomes such a beautiful aspect of my life. Of course, I have to be careful that I don't get stuck in that memory and I don't keep living in that memory and compromise my here and now. But experiences kind of, become a bank within which enrich life. So, health, time, experiences. The fourth thing I've spoken about in my reflection, our thoughts are very precious. Everything in the world is created twice, first in the mind and then in reality. Our power of imagination, creative thinking, problem solving all resides within us. And that makes our power of thinking very precious for us. So, to be constantly aware of what we are cultivating within, how we are applying our mind, where the thought flow is going, makes a difference to our life. And that's why, our thought process is a very precious thing. And the last thing which I have said is very precious are the opportunities we get. Very often we look back and we have a few regrets that we didn't do this, we didn't do that. And all of us live with that, right? One can't change the course of life, but one can be extremely aware that when opportunities are presenting themselves, we don't interfere with our inner fear, insecurity, what if, and concerns and anxiety. The willingness and ability to then engage with these opportunities and see where life takes us is an extremely precious thing that life gives us. So our health, time, experiences, thoughts, and opportunities, these are the five very precious things in our life beyond just the obvious.
Amazing, yeah. But I want to show you a picture which kind of tells you what kind of gives me a lot of importance, when you talk about
Hmm.
these precious things. There's a
Ah,
picture that you typically get a forward from your friends, that's the
ah.
picture. So, so we always so we always talk about that you're waiting for that, okay, you do everything at work, you get your children's out, and then you're going to enjoy life, and then it's exactly what he said. No, do you have the ability at that time to
Hmm.
enjoy those good things and everything? So in a way, for me, I feel the essence of the whole thing is what you first said. It's about the health. You've got to stay focused on it. You need to keep it going so that the experience continues for a long, however long it can. But if you have that health, you can take advantage of the opportunities, take advantage of your thoughts, do so many things around it. Otherwise you just get limited completely. But having said that, Vivek, uh, this is all over the top kind of thoughts that most of the youngsters would look at. But let's be candid here about this. When we talk about these precious things, we often mean the material possessions we own. And it's undeniable that owning these items can bring us happiness. So isn't it somewhat exaggerated to emphasize the importance of things beyond material possessions?
So I don't think there is a conflict between the two, and I don't think the uh, conversation or the proposition is an either or. Of course, the material things are extremely precious. The house we live in, the car we drive, the things that we own, they are precious. They do give us a certain level of happiness. They are important in our lives. And we have to work hard and give ourselves a good quality life. There's no taking away from that. Having said that, if we only stop at the material things, then we run the risk that after a while, when the initial excitement wears out, the happiness will also start waning. And the very item that gave us lots of happiness in its initial phase, it's like it doesn't give us that same level of happiness and excitement anymore. Because end of the day, material things are transient. and anything that is transient cannot give us permanent happiness. That's one. Second is, when we only focus on the material, chances are then we're ignoring the value of our health, our time, our experiences, our thoughts, our relationships, and some of the opportunities that are coming in our life. So it doesn't mean that we only focus on the other aspects and not give ourselves a good material quality life. Of course, we must, but don't get stuck in that and don't define the quality of life and the precious things in life only by the material things. And let me also, over here, Ajit, try and give you a business example, since we do reach out to a lot of the MSMEs and the business community out there. So the material aspect of business clearly is our profitability, our assets. So we keep looking at our balance sheet, we look at the P&L account, and we look at the numbers, which is great, right? And they are extremely precious for us. But what is equally precious in any organization is the culture, is the knowledge management, is the ability to be innovative and creative, is the ability to have a certain amount of resilience when things are tough, and a certain amount of innovation when opportunities present themselves and the world starts changing around us. Now, all these things are extremely precious, just to name a few, but none of them find a place on the balance sheet or the P&L account as a line item. So you don't have that, okay, my culture is worth 100. I can say that the assets I own are worth 100, but culture doesn't find its place, but it's extremely precious, isn't it? So there are a lot of off balance sheet items in our businesses that are extremely precious. Similarly, in our personal lives also, Ajit, there are lots of off balance sheet items which are beyond material that are extremely precious.
Wow. So tell me something, Vivek. Share with us the one thing that's very precious for you, and why do you value it so much?
Spending time with people. If you ask me for the one, I mean, of course, there are several things, but if it was the one big thing and the first thing that comes to mind is spending time with people, right? Uh, Let me give you two, three examples. We all talk about family being important and spending time with family. I'll tell you how I have converted that into a few things that one does. So our oldest son, was studying in Vancouver and still continues working there for the next few months before he heads back home in September. So he's been there for the past 7 years. So we would go, Rashid and I would go and spend a month in Vancouver. Well, partly because we also fell in love with the place and it was a great time for the two of us as well. But it wasn't just spending time with family, but it was spending quality time with family and spending enough quantum of time. Trying to fit in a trip to our son in the midst of a very packed schedule, to my mind, was not really the definition of I'm spending quality time with him. But my willingness and fortunately the ability to take a month off and go stay in Vancouver, spend time. And second is that it gave Rashida and me time to spend with each other as well. Give you another example. So, these friends of mine, two of them and I, three of us, we've been catching up every Sunday morning for coffee, and it's been 20 years now. When the kids were young, we would take them to a bookstore and then to a coffee shop, and kids stopped coming, the wife stopped coming, off and on Rashida comes, but by and large, the three of us get together. For me, those Sunday mornings, Ajit, have become extremely precious because I'm spending quality time with people who I truly, genuinely love and care for. So I've just given these two examples, not to mean that there aren't many, many others. People who I love and care for, I want to spend time with them. And it's precious because life is life, right? You don't know when you're going to get these opportunities, how much more time all of us have. I'm not being pessimistic or fatalistic, but I'm just saying that why would I not want to maximize that? So whenever I find an opportunity to spend time with somebody I love and care. That's my default go to thinking. For example, bro, spending time with you on these podcasts has been extremely enriching for me, honestly. Okay, now this is something very precious for me, and I look forward to it. I don't care how many people it reaches out to or doesn't, but just us spending time together like this is precious. So that's the one thing you asked me. It's people and spending quality time with them.
Amazing. Too good. Yeah, but that's fantastic. That's absolutely enriching. So to our viewers, if you don't have the patience to go every Saturday and wait for to hear all these reflections, this is the book that Vivek had written, One Day at a Time, Reflections from Times of Silence. Get to Amazon, it's available there, or get to his website and you can actually buy that book. Or you can join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. We'll come up with one reflection every week. Well, that's what we have time today for. So
Mhm.
thank you for joining us, and we'd love to hear from you. Join us on the dialogue on social media platforms. Share this episode with your friends. Start a conversation. What do you think? And share these feedbacks and just not keep it to yourself. So your voice matters, yeah, in shaping a world that is ethically driven. So that's it for today. And join us again next week, next Saturday at 11 a.m. for another enriching episode of Life.EV, where we continue our exploration into the fascinating world of exploring values in our life. And the next week, we're going to talk about the art of carrying people with us. So we're looking forward to diving deeper into these critical discussions in our next session. See you next week, where we will unravel more insights and perspectives that shape our ethical compass. Thank you for listening, and remember to reach out to your friends and get a conversation going of life exploring values. Vivek, thank you very much. That's episode number 20.
Thanks, Ajit. It's been a
Thank you
lovely
very much.
journey so far. Take care.
Thanks a lot.